Is this thing on? Hello?
What?
Jody, you are 5'9" in Connecticut. Do you copy?
Evening.
Jody, do you copy? You're 5'9" in Connecticut. Over.
There we go.
Hey, everybody. Welcome. Listen, we got some guys coming in. We may have some more people coming in because we're talking turkey tonight. Ham Radio Clubhouse is on the air for Tuesday, November 26th. Shane did a very good deed today. He did a Make-A-Wish thing with him and his company. And when he pops in later, maybe we can talk a little bit about that. He's trying to secure himself a space in heaven, even though he's driving the bus to hell along with all of us, because we're all just going to take turns. But it's an amazing night because a lot of good's been happening. And although, once again, in traditional Clubhouse screw up, I'm looking at when I log in here. For those of you watching on YouTube and Twitch, you're seeing the final product, right? Well, when we log in, I'm looking and it says episode 192, and I think it says something about the Tyson fight, and it had the wrong date, and I'm like, what the hell did Shane do? So when Shane gets here, that's something else we're going to ask him about. But I'm here. Joe Brett's going to be here in a little bit. But I found Jody walking the mean streets of America. And I said, dude, what are you doing? And he said something about, well, Thanksgiving was last week in Canada. I said, yeah, but it's in 2 days. It's going to be here. So you can hit it. You can get turkey twice. That's right. And you didn't want it. And I really didn't want this guy going to the soup kitchen, although he will later. But
you never get enough turkey. That's the story.
So everyone's probably saying, "Oh my God, that's that's Jody." Jody, how long have you been following all of us here on YouTube? Not only this show, but the Coffee and Ham radios, the Nuggets, the 2.0s. Are you like an OG?
No, I think I originally started during the pandemic. That was probably when everybody sat down at home and discovered all these channels. And if I'm looking back at my memberships on these channels, they go back to 2020, 2021. You know, some of the people I didn't discover until a little later. Some of them I didn't like until a little later, so I didn't become a member, you know.
Right. But
yeah, it's strictly been a pandemic thing. Obviously, I've been licensed for a lot longer than that, but YouTube and ham tubing really took off during the pandemic for me, and I'm sure a lot of others.
All right. All right. So before we get into all about you, because I know a bunch of us, including myself, we all want to know a lot of stuff about you. Some stuff you're going to tell us, and some stuff you're not. We get it. And everything else that you can't, we'll end up digging up on you anyway, because there's this thing called Google and Wikipedia that tells everything, and social media. So we'll find stuff on you. Don't worry about that.
FBI, open up! Hey, fellas.
That was lame.
Show.
That was lame.
Lame for you.
Banging on the door? Come on. Play that again.
Open the door. It's bad how much I really sound like that. I was listening to the podcast today where I played that last week, and I'm like,
yep.
And then I did it. I was like, open the door. And I was like, did I record that?
Let me tell you something. In the mornings, we all have our regiment. I'm taking my sinus pill, my daily vitamin, because I want to live to be 100. And I listened to the beginning of the podcast from last week. I literally haven't. It's been a long time since liquids have come out of my nose and shot across the kitchen. That was some funny shit. So for those of you who don't know, did you do that? Hang on.
Is there a hotkey set up to this thing?
Hey, Joe, should I put my brand new quarter zip in the middle of the shot, or should I stay on the side, Joe? Hey, Joe, where do you like my new quarter zip? My new quarter zip.
It's lovely. I love it. There you are.
And we're starting off on the serious note I knew we would.
There we go.
Hey, listen, apparel is very important. And guys, you can go to Spreadshirt. I'm sure we got a link here somewhere. You can go to Shane's store. You can get a Ham Radio Clubhouse like me. I'll give you my. Oh, you got the mug. Look at
Gotta
this.
get the mug. Yeah, gotta get the mug.
Already.
Mugs. My T-shirt came in. You guys, I think you saw me wearing that last week. I got the quarter zip. This is my Joe Brett quarter zip that I love. It is so comfortable. It's not heavy duty fleece, but it's not light. It's somewhere right in the middle. So if you're like me and you want to do some layering, it's absolutely. Of course, I personalize it. So in case I forget my name, I know my name. When the officer says, "Hey, you, what's your name?" I can say, "It's right here." But Joe, I especially wore my quarter zip tonight just for you. So
it's good.
And you looked very good in your quarter zip.
Thank you.
You looked very distinguished. Very.
I've got a closet full of them. So.
See, that's the quarter zip. If you want to wear to a meeting, you got to go visit somebody on Thanksgiving, and you don't want to. You know what I mean? You got to just dress up. You just got to go up like a notch or so.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So, Joe Brett, you don't have to be afraid of me this time when we meet, virtually. I'm not as intimidating as in person.
Yeah, man. I was
a little bit worried the last time I saw you and, kind of
Izzo, let me tell you, man, I'm up here at this weird place I've never been before called Dayton or Xenia, whatever people call it these days.
Right.
I don't know how the culture is, We talked about the villages last week and stuff.
Yes. Yep.
Also, I got this guy that's not from here, just reaching out, wanting to shake my hand, saying, "I'm Jody." And I'm like, "Heard about you in the Army,
2 steps back.
Took me a minute to realize that was the wise guy in the chat. So, but unfortunately, we didn't have a lot of time to hang out.
No, everything was kind of rushed out in the center field there.
All right, Jody, don't answer this. I want to ask Joe Brett, because from my perception, Jody looks to be about between 6'5" and maybe 6'9". Is he Joe Brett? Is he a big, is he a big boy? Is he a tight end?
Put me on the spot. You were taller than I was, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know if we were even standing on equal ground. Like I might have been on the pavement, he might have been in the grass. Everything was happening so quick.
I'm not Steve Goodgame height, not quite that tall. That's the judge, right?
Like, it don't take much to be taller than me, so.
All right, I'm just adding some stuff here. I'm playing Shane, guys, so just be.
Oh, so you can control the.
Yes, I know how to. No, I know how to do banners.
Izzo usually comes in on his personal account and has no rights or access to anything in the show. So.
No, I never have come on in personal account. Only when I'm on the app with the iPad or my phone. But when I'm on the laptop in here, oh yeah, please. The King and I talked to the King. You know what he said? Give me some moolah. Let's go. Give me some riches. So,
So I'm trying to figure out who in the chat tonight is going to be able to handle the meme generation while I'm occupied here.
Yeah.
While you do that, Joe Brett, is there any housekeeping? I'm just trying to think what Shane does right now. I'm putting on my Shane thinking.
We'd like to thank all of the channel members in green.
I don't see anybody. Oh yeah, okay, there they are. And I see some guys in blue too. What does the blue versus the green mean?
Well,
do you
the
know?
blue is the moderators. They can shut people up if they get out of line.
Okay.
Those used to be really necessary when we had those, huge things of bots. But
although something I gotta tell you, I'm a moderator and a couple of other of our YouTuber friends, and we had two scenarios. Was it last week and the week before? I think it was like almost back to back. And I'm like, oh, I don't think this guy's gonna want this on his show. But somebody beat me to it. So decline. Be good. That's all it is, guys. Just be good. So
I haven't watched it yet, but I've seen the thumbnail that Ham Radio Tube is really reaching out to the community for some assistance. It's like vote for my favorite, me as your favorite pitcher or something. I'm not sure what this is, but undoubtedly he's got a $1.5 on the line. I don't know, but
he posted something. Yeah, he posted something today, and I was I was busy doing some stuff with the kids. I said I'll have to look at it probably on Wednesday or Thursday, because I have a feeling Thursday is going to be a good day for me at work, unless somebody really does something stupid on Thursday.
Ted.
You know,
Ted in the chat says even the bots got bored and left. Kind of hurts my feelings.
Well,
I may or may not have been impersonating bots. So
no, I think you are just being you, is what I think. I think the bots have got a lot to learn from you.
Rizzo, you going to call out all the members?
All right, so we have this side of the radio for 23 months. We have Jason, KB1WSE for 16 months. Jeff, Alpha 4, Bravo Charlie. Happy Thanksgiving, Jeff. 11 months. Thank you. Cooley, Kilo Alpha 9, Quebec Zulu Golf for 8 months. Our brother. Do I need to say it again? Our brother, FEP Labs, Gene, for 5 months. He's absolutely right. This is fun you can do while you are conscious. What you do while you're unconscious, I don't want to know. Don't let me see that thing on the TikTok. That should get us all in trouble. But Ham Radio 2, brother Mike, going back to him for 7 months. I think I got everybody. No, Eric, our brother Eric. I was on Eric's show last night. Eric gave us a super chat there for $4.99. Hey guys, if you are not watching the boys, those crazy guys up in the Northeast, man, you got to watch Northeast Hams. Let me tell you something. I hung out with Eric and Paul and Todd last night. We did predictions for 2025. Who the hell knows if these predictions are even coming? It was just gut stuff. What we feel inside our gut of what's going to happen, ham radio related. But it was a fun show. They got some cool stuff going on. They got some great merchandise. For those of you who like your brandy and a little whiskey, they got some nice glasses over there. And those will be memorabilia very, very soon. So I predict that is my prediction.
Show, when Mike was hosting, same group, but Mike was hosting, Walt was there talking about antennas a few days ago. That was very interesting. That whole conversation was elevated, technical, and well done. It was a very interesting live stream.
Walt is an incredible. It's like just when you thought you met smart, funny, down-to-earth people, here comes another one. And it was Walt. And I was like, wow. I'm like, this guy, he's the real McCoy. He is the real McCoy, and he's just an absolute guy. Has anyone seen James Quirky QRP? Has he shown up yet? Has he come into the clubhouse? Because he's got something special going on that Etsy, Easty, whatever that thing is called, that website of his. He's got a great promotion for everybody. So, and yes, Mike, good people. Good people. Only good people are allowed to come into the clubhouse. If you're not a good guy, just, go somewhere else tonight. Go watch the weather.
Eric mentioned there, Walt's got a book coming out. The ARL is publishing his antenna guide, so that'll be very interesting.
Yes. I've actually saved some of his snapshots and JPEGs. I started a folder for every once in a while when I want to look at things and kind of visualize, can I do it? Do I want to do it? Do I want to just because I got nothing else better to do in life? I think so. I got quite a folder, but congratulations on Walt and the league partnering together for that. So, but
that's great. Well, this is a visualization for those watching that Mike Ham Radio Tube is talking about, and I'm going to say my feather's a little ruffled here, man.
Why is that now? What's that?
Hell, I probably got more TID radio shit laying around than he does.
You think so?
Yeah, and I didn't even make the list, man. So you can go vote for the best GMRS radio, video, Rubicon. Hey, see.
There's Hayden.
Hayden's in the running.
I get it.
So
okay.
I voted for him, and then here's Mike for the, I don't know.
But what if I want to vote for you?
There.
But what if I want to vote for you?
There ain't no write-in option, so just give my vote to Ham Radio 2, please.
Oh man.
Yeah, just give my vote to Ham Radio 2. He's smoking the competition in his little category here.
Mike, we are bringing you to the Ham Radio altar here, and I'm not talking about the wedding chapel here. This is about when you meet the big guy, and I'm not talking Clarence from the E Street Band. Okay, I'm talking about you're gonna have Mike. You better redo that thing real quick right now. We'll give you 15 minutes. Go ahead.
Hey, y'all want to see something funny?
There, Joe Brett.
Y'all want to see something funny?
What's that? What's that?
Right there. Look
at him.
Oh.
Yeah. Hey, Joe. I gotta run. Hey, Joe. I gotta run the net. That's what he says. I gotta run the net. He ain't running no net. But he's busted. He is busted.
Oh, he's got the mic in the hand. He was able to fly a bird my way with the mic in his hand there. Anyway.
Man, I really wish you would have given me a little heads up on that paper bag gag, because I think that was hilarious. That would have been the perfect way for me to introduce myself to the chat.
Yeah, that's okay.
The unknown comic.
So, chat, now that you see Jody, do you still approve of his wittiness, or is he banned from the chat?
Yeah, right. What about is the dumpster fire up? I don't have Discord up here. Are the boys in the dumpster fire?
I usually don't run Discord either. I don't know.
Hang on, let me go to my phone here real quick.
Too much stuff going on, man.
Because they are part of the their own executive group over there. So we need to see what they got. What they say. Let's see here. Just Derek is in there right now. Shout out to Derek in the dumpster fire. In our K5YVY Discord channel. So
Hamradioclubhouse Clubhouse channel.
Yep, and that's where where men can be men, and there is no political correctness. Women can be women too. Well,
the Jim has spoken. You get to stay in the chat there, Jody.
Hey, Jody, have you been on Jim's show yet?
No, not on video. Just in the chat.
Oh, okay. So you haven't been on Nuggets yet?
No.
You should be. Seriously. I say that to break their balls, but they're my friends and they break my balls back, so we don't care. But Nuggets is and listen, they've been playing with TNCs. They've been trying to get these terminal node controllers working and shit. And there is something incredible here called you. And I mean, I'm going to have my people call TO's people, and I'm going to tell them, listen, take a break from this TNC stuff and go hang out with Jim and TO for 90 minutes. You're the arch nemesis.
Well, Don and I split the duties. I'm the Canadian nemesis.
Yeah, SKT is. Yeah, he knows how to get it in, doesn't he? He knows how to swing a bat. He's very good. So. Hey, Jody, I'm sure some people want to know. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where do you live? Where do you live in Canada? What's it like living there? That kind of stuff. We'll start off with there.
Yeah, right now I'm in Regina, Saskatchewan. So
what?
One of those places that's hard to spell, easy to draw.
What was that first word? Because I thought I heard a lady's part or something.
Yeah, there's a bit of rhyming going on there. Regina is named after the Queen, or the Queen City. So.
Oh, well, my apologies for raising an eyebrow to that.
I will. Let me tell you something. I will always bow to the Queen's V. All right, that's all we're gonna say. That's. I don't want to get thrown off. It's all. We're only
campaign in the past that went awry, saying it rhymed with fun or something like that, and let's not explore that any further.
We'll just leave it right there on the bar stool. We'll just leave it right there.
Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, this is roughly a 2-hour drive north of the North Dakota-Montana border. That's roughly where I am. I zip down into Montana when I pick up mail. That's close enough to have a U.S.
Hold on, Jody, hold on 1 second, please. Steve is now here.
Hey,
what's going on? Yeah, Joe. I actually had 18 check into the net tonight. So
Oh, wow. Mr. Popular.
I was going to say it was a big one.
That's good.
Not my normal week. So,
hey, I got a quick shout out there to Interstellar Starman. He says the Brits are here. Sounds like you're a neighbor of Jody, and I can find myself in a world of shit. Hey, listen, I love everybody around the world, man. We get along. I get along with like 99.99% of the people because we give each other respect. We shake hands if it's appropriate. If not, we bow. I could do namaste, and I say that very sincerely. We have a cigar. I may even have something to drink in honor of that individual if I'm on their soil. I may even eat barbecue potato chips.
Hey!
no, you won't. No, you won't.
Because that is called respect. And men, even though we come from different lands, could still sit and enjoy, smoke, drink, eat, and laugh. And that is important. That is important as we go around as this little tiny thing called Earth. This little round ball just goes around the sun. And that's all we do. So, but anyway.
I still got my hair, though. I'm not a Molson.
So, hey, have you ever met Molson?
No, just saw him here, and that was it. We haven't crossed paths yet. So,
tell us about Saskatchewan. What's it like in that province? And correct me if I'm wrong. That is a province, right?
Yep.
It gets labeled as a province? Okay.
No, exactly. So we're high desert in the summer and cold and snowy in the winter. We've got it all. Like this is huge. This is like not quite the size of Texas or Alaska, but they're big. So on the southern side, we've got the desert, 100 Fahrenheit in the summer is no big deal. The winter, I think the coldest I've seen it is minus 50 Celsius. So that's, cold.
Wait. I'll back up.
TDC.
Back up for a minute. What's your high in the summer?
We get up to 104, 105 Fahrenheit. So 40.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy cripes. I didn't realize that. Okay.
There was a weather station about an hour east of where I live now that had a North American record for seasonal temperature swings from hottest in the summer to coldest in the winter. It was like 170 Fahrenheit. It's
wow.
We have no water, so there's no temperature regulation in this part of the world. There's just no big lake or anything.
So bass boats, to bring your bass boat to Saskatchewan is really not going to help, right? Leave the bass boat.
Summer, yeah, for sure. Lots of good fishing around here. Lots of good hunting.
There you go.
Ice fishing is now the season for ice fishing. So,
excellent.
Take your 4x4 on the lake.
I could bring my tent.
Yeah, I'll pass.
I'll bring my Eskimo tent.
There's a reason I live in the South. Isn't that right, Joe?
Yeah.
Back
when you consider yours in the South?
We have fun with them.
The Southeast, yeah.
He's Atlantic Coast. I don't know. South Carolina depends.
I don't know if you can really count. I live in the South when you're kind of off to the side. I don't know. You either come to the SIP or Louisiana or forbid Alabama, but
why don't we just call him Side South? We'll just call him Side South.
Like side chick.
It's the Southeast, so
sidecar. He's like the sidecar on a motorcycle. That's what it is.
Jesus. All right, Izzo. Next time I come up there, you're riding bitch. Just so you know.
No, I do not ride bitch, and I'm not going to get behind you because I don't know where to put my hands. Very, very simple. And I'm not going to ask where to put my hands because no.
You don't want to know the answer.
No, I don't want to know the answer. That's why I drive a 4x4. That's why. Very, very simple. That's why I drive a truck.
I so want to make
Jeff agrees with me.
You guys are just setting up the perfect meme right now.
We are.
Of course.
And you're here right now, and you can't create it unless you're going to be doing some magic right now that we can't see. Jody, what did you get licensed in ham radio? What was your interest? Like, how did it lead up to all that?
Well, I actually was commercially licensed before I was amateur licensed. It was a strange progression. So high school, college, back in the late 80s, 90s, I was building FM transmitters and broadcasting around campus.
Okay.
I took that to the next level. In Canada, we have an interesting low power FM commercial license you can get. And I built a station on my own, didn't pass inspection. It was way too spurious. It was like, Baofeng 1.0. Ended up buying a transmitter kit, and in 1997 went through our technical licensing and our legal licensing for the content, built a transmitter at my house. It was 97 was when I went on the air. 10 watts, low power FM, brought in a commercial satellite station off the dish coming in from Newfoundland, and broadcast that to the local community for a decade. And
really?
Right at the end of that,
nice.
Been in radio, did all the technical things, and then went over to the amateur side in about 2008. It's when I was a search and rescue volunteer, and we got it in our heads. We wanted to do APRS and geo-tracking, bought a bunch of radios, a bunch of trackers, and I got licensed so we could do that, some exercises. That went a long way. That was the beginning of a lot of radio activity, APRS.
All right, so let me stop you right there, because that's a whole bunch of lot right there. Your certification in Canada for the commercial FM broadcasting, does that also include AM, FM, or is it just strictly, do they break it down where if you want to do AM broadcast, this is one set of rules, you do want to do FM, this is another set of rules? Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. And is it based on is it based on power output of the transmitter? And so we have a radio telephony, I believe that's how they pronounce it, a radio telephone license here in the United States. I presume it's similar.
This was a technical license, so I had to become the station engineer to run the radio station out of my home.
So when they talk about plate and voltage and all this other stuff, you were doing all that stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you gotta know where the on-off switch is. That's really it, right? I mean, so when you were did you do anything with AM, or was it only FM broadcasts?
No, I only went with FM. AM, typically the licensing is harder to get. The equipment was much more expensive. FM was easy to get back in the 90s.
Really?
Even now, 1 watt AM, the transmitters are, the same price as a 50 watt FM, and the coverage is, nothing comparable. The FM is way better. There's too many restrictions on AM, just because of as we know, as we deal with HF, the ability to interfere with other services is way expanded, over the horizon.
Because I have a low power FCC here in America gives low power AM. It's way up there. Actually, it's like 1670, 1680 kilohertz, and they do something a little bit below too. But they allocated me, and I had 2 transmitters when I was doing emergency work, so we can send out emergency messages to the residents. And we promoted it through our social media saying, hey, listen, we know everyone still has an AM radio in your vehicle. You may want to keep an AM.
Yeah.
Well, unless you're all satellite, right?
The Teslas don't have an AM radio.
Okay, so Tesla people are going to have to go buy, or else they can go to Heathkit and build their own, and it is what it is, right?
Won't work in the car.
Okay, Steve, this is not the soup kitchen line, and not everyone's going to get a bowl of soup and a piece of bread today. Okay.
Okay.
I didn't know that, Steve. Seriously, I still thought all the newer still had the option of AM, FM in the vehicles itself.
No. Apparently, with the electric motors, it doesn't play nice with AM radio.
So it's very loud and buzzy. It's a little buzzy.
Like it
wasn't
was
that great
anyway.
to begin with. Yeah.
Right. It was to begin with. Right. You went through a crack. You always knew if the insulator was cracked on the pole, you could hear that buzzing sound, or if there was a problem with the transformer.
Yeah, there's actually some legislation in Congress that pops its head up every once in a while. It never passed, but it's to keep AM radio in vehicles. And I'm not sure who the lobbyists are for that, whether I'm sure it's manufacturers, because they don't want it. But yeah, public safety was the number one reason it was being pushed. So.
I can't think of the name of the company who I bought this stuff from. I got it somewhere in my records. They were out of Michigan too. Great group of guys. They came out here. We did a survey, and although they did tell me you're going to need 2. We set them up on, again, it was almost like setting up a POTA station, and it was really fun. I used some Adobe audio software to create the messages, and of course my voice didn't cut it. So I had I literally had my late wife, who had an incredible radio voice, but would say, not me. And I begged her, and I gave her the script. And when we would broadcast these things, people were, oh my God, that's wonderful. Now they were listening. They were actually listening. So a woman's voice does cut it, I think. And I think we've learned that through POTA when we do, on those memorized announcements that we do on our various rigs. So Jody, eventually got, now we have learned from Molson and others who have been on the show that Canadian ham radio licensing is a little bit different than here in the United States. So where are you? Are you at the top tier?
Yeah, well, I started with our basic, and if you score well enough, you get the HF privileges up to 250 watts. So I stayed there for 12 years, and again during the pandemic, our national organization, RAC, Radio Amateurs of Canada, they actually came out and changed two major things. First of all, remote instruction, so an online course that was trailblazing for them, and online testing. So I went and it was probably the spring of 2020, picked up my advanced level, and not hard. I've got the electronics background. I really wish I would have done all of my radio licensing when I was back in college, because it would have been a piece of cake. A
little bit easier, right?
The strange parts that you have to learn about electronics theory are, part and parcel of the course. So, struggle to remember a few things, but that went all right, and finished up advanced in 2020.
So help us out, for us here in America. When you get your highest tier, do you get additional? I know there's the building aspect and a few more, but as far as operating, like with us, we get a little bit extra on 7580, a little bit more on 40, a little bit more on 20, and I think a little bit more on 15, maybe.
Yeah, some of that has changed a little bit, and I'd have to double check, so I'm fact checking myself here. But as far as I know, from my memory, we only increased in power and things. But for the most part, if you score well enough on your entry level exam, you're allowed to play on HF up to 250 watts in all of the spots. There's no restriction on mode or anything. So 60 meters might have been a little different, and that's why I'm kind of fact checking there. But some of the rules on 60 meters changed 2 or 3 years ago, so I'm not sure if that would affect basic with honors or not in Canada.
Right. So here you are. So then you ended up. So now you're licensed. So what was your first rig? Do you remember what and was it on VHF? Was it on HF? Like, what did you start doing for a rig and antenna?
Yeah, well, for HF, I was playing around with a friend's TS2000 at a field day, and that, obviously your first rig is like, somebody taught me that. I was able to use it. Well, I'm going to go out and buy that one. And frankly, I'm very happy. I still have that TS2000, and it's in a Go box right now. So
it's like the girl. It's like your first kiss. You like it, like it, and you want more of it, and it's great. And there you go. So, and that's a good raise. That that Kenwood, man, that Kenwood did really, really well for a long, back in its time.
When you learn to press the right buttons, you got to stick with it.
Yeah,
talking about the radio.
And what antenna were you using?
That's a good question. I think it was just a dipole I built. The very first antenna, not at the field day. They had, I'm not even sure what they had up in the air. We are actually partnered with the military at that exercise. That was a fan dipole. They had probably 4 bands that we were playing with that night. And then I just built a dipole because I got the radio on a eBay sale, and I never had any equipment at all. So I was like, I'm going to wire up a radio or an antenna. Got to get this thing on the air. And first contacts were just on some speaker wire, zip line split. So
no kidding.
This ADHD life, before I forget, because of ADHD. Welcome to the club, man.
Yeah, man. Welcome. Thank you, brother.
You got Frank here, member for 13 months. Canadian Sass in the house, he says. Got to get sassier.
Frank misses me.
Chat says you're lacking in person. And Chris, 22 months.
I'm a lot wittier behind the keyboard. It's hard to talk, you know. I gotta have a keyboard and have some time to think of all the sass here.
Right.
Is it really? Just a step away from questions about ham radio and stuff.
That just proves my point. Where when I'm interacting with chat, y'all call me out all of a sudden. I don't know what you're talking about. You pick one or the other, right?
Yep.
All right, go ahead, Izzo. You had something.
Well, before we get to the Gray Man, because Gray Man is playing I Spy over there. Hold on, Gray Man. So, Jody, is it really hard for you to be here tonight, or do you prefer to be in the comforts and just, when something hits, when it hits the brain, it hits the fingers, and boom, 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 and push the enter button and go? Is it kind of hard to? It's like you want to say something to some of these boys and say "shut the hell up," or you want to give them a good slap a little bit, or
no. It's
well, you're being too kind in Clubhouse tonight, bro. You're not getting away that easy.
Well, I'm not going to say it live, so come on.
No, we're 37 minutes in. You're safe.
Okay.
Yeah, we're safe. Yeah. So, Steve, Gray Man is seeing some type of leather strappings somewhere.
It's not leather. It's a sling bag from when I was down in Universal, hanging on the door.
Okay. So, hey, Gray Man, get your head out of the gutter. Not yet.
He's prior Navy. We know where he stays. It's fine.
Okay. So you're good with that, Steve.
I deal with those guys all the time. Why do you think I was in Hawaii?
There you go. Making sure the ships stay afloat.
Yeah, we'll go with that. That works.
Jody, how long have you been a ham radio operator?
Well, since 2008. It's probably when I started with the APRS as official ham. I'm not going to deny that I may or may not have had radios prior to that. But
of course, right.
And obviously the FM transmitters in college were outside some of the legalities, but
no. I'm sure we can consult with Joe Brett, but that's American law versus Canadian law. But I think we're past the statute of limitations, because we're not going to talk about what I did on my 27 megahertz days either. So it's just one of those things of, it is what it is. We are here.
Pill amp.
Yeah, we are here today because of what we did yesterday. So we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I've definitely been on the commercial side and the legal side of licensing with public safety, the province-wide communications network, a lot of fire departments, that sort of thing, helping them set up radio systems. So, they're looking for somebody with a good, SWR meter, and from there it just expands and the word gets out, and you can have a whole sideline business by yourself. So.
I've been playing around with public safety side for a little bit over 20 years now, and I'm still learning. It's very interesting with the equipment, of how the equipment has evolved, safety, regulations that come down. Who wants to adhere to it? Who doesn't? Who wants to? Because this is how we've always done it, which I cannot stand. I cannot stand that. But if you were to give, like, my brothers a brand new hose nozzle, and they all want to fight over it, but when it comes to a radio, they get very scared of the radio, and I don't understand why. Right. And I'm glad manufacturers have put less button on. Like there's an option of you want the full keypad or limited or a no keypad, and that's what normally that sometimes can work. They're afraid of understanding what a zone is, and part of my trainings that I do with them is a zone is nothing more than a computer file. That's all it is. It's a folder, and those guys who have a basic understanding of computers know, as an appliance operator, a folder holds stuff. That's all it does. It's like a bucket. It holds stuff. It's like a cooler for your beer. It holds stuff. That's all it does. But I love my brothers, but they get scared of the radio. And I keep telling them, don't, man, that is your lifeline for everything. Now, do not be afraid of that.
I've spent some time on that side of the fence too. I'm a volunteer firefighter for a decade, and industrial firefighting, the search and rescue side. So ambulance work. I've done a lot of the emergency side, the consumer radios, and a purveyor of radios.
Jim just perked up on that.
Yeah. Oh, really? Good.
Fireman buddy, man.
Yeah, when Jim tells cantaloupe stories, I'm right there with him, buddy.
Oh gosh.
Jim.
I was hoping to forget that.
Hey, Jim, this is another reason why you should have him on your show after our show is done tonight. And he could say he had a great time on Clubhouse and he's good to be on Nuggets or Coffee and Ham Radio. So you should be texting the ape right now and letting him know that you guys should be in the middle of looking at the calendar to book him. Hey, Jody. So on the broadcast side, I always like broadcast radio. Back in college, you said, correct? You were doing that in college? Music, news, college activities, just about everything. What's going on in the school?
Yeah, mostly music. There was limited hours, just after classes at night, regular times from 7 till 10. Weekdays was kind of the operating schedule. One landline for the call-in show with a telephone hybrid, so I could put you on the air. All the features in a 6-block radius.
Were you the engineer, or were you also part of the show?
Oh, yeah, all of the above.
Did it all, and you swept the floors, cleaned the bathrooms, and did it all. Yep, exactly. Yep,
like to be empty.
Exactly.
There was a lot of empties.
Hey, some people laugh at college radio. They don't get it, man. That's the foundation for a lot of things. It really is. Yeah, you really got to kind of make your bones, as they say, and that's what you do, man.
Audience, the students at that facility, they will listen to you no matter what you do. You lead the trend. So it was very entertaining to have conversations in the hallways the next day about what happened the night before.
Right, exactly. Whether it was stuff that happens on campus, in the community, in the nation, around the world. Yeah, absolutely. And college is always an interesting place anyway, because you have so many different minds there already. It's such a melting pot already. So
oh no,
look at
we
this.
See who's on latrine duty.
Hey Shane. Shane, can I introduce you to Jody?
Hey Jody, how are you, man? Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt the flow. Goodness.
There we go. Oh my God. Now I feel comfortable.
See what happens when the professionals show up?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, professional.
Steve spent
okay. Took care of
that.
Very good, Steve.
Have to do a little color correction here.
There you go.
You look marvelous. Don't worry about
it. We won't judge, I promise.
Have y'all noticed me like skipping in and out any?
No.
As in, like, you rarely show up on time anymore?
No, I was here.
Oh, okay.
He was here before you.
But I had an excuse. I'm sorry. I totally interrupted the show.
You had a valid
carry
excuse.
on. I have to catch you up.
I think I may have created too many wireless networks. So I'm getting
all right. So Shane, I'm going to give you the ISO 30 seconds is usually 3 minutes, but I'm going to bring you right up to speed about Jody. Are you ready?
Okay. Let's hear it.
He started off in broadcast FM radio.
He needs a cough drop.
Oh, me?
He needs a cough button.
I heard like, was it a cough button? I don't know.
That's Joe Brett. Okay. So
I didn't do nothing.
So Jody, I'm bringing him up to speed here. Hold on.
Do it.
I am. If you just let me stop coughing.
Well, shit, everybody's waiting on you. Do it.
Well, stop coughing for crying out.
Hell, I didn't cough. You see me?
Yes, hold your breath, Boomhauser.
There it is.
They're still waiting.
All right. Jody's from Canada. Okay.
Well, I kind of figured that much. He's got a funky call sign.
He's from Saskatchewan, but where he lives, it kind of rhymes with the letter V on a woman. And I don't know that we're 46 minutes in if I could say it, but even if we are, I still don't want to say it because it's still going to get me into. Yeah, we're getting close. Like we're getting close to the interstate. We're getting close to the tunnel. Okay, and I'm not talking about the Lincoln Tunnel. All right.
Okay.
All right. Smart guy. He's been doing stuff with all types of radio, public safety radio, business radio. He first got his what I call the Molson license, that first one, the the 200 watts, and just go play radio. Just don't get yourself
Just
killed.
don't melt your neighbor's house.
Yeah. Don't put your fingers inside the outlets, kind of a thing.
Don't turn on your buddy's stove.
Right. Don't turn on your buddy's stove is really important. Then he got his advanced, I think it's called advanced or extra or whatever they call it over there in Canada. It's hot as all hell in the summer. It could be 100 degrees easy. It could be like Texas, literally like Texas in the summer.
Okay.
And then in the winter, you're going to freeze your granolas off. Okay. And you won't see them until granolas. Your nuts, your walnuts, you're going to freeze your nuts off until probably April. Right. Joe,
Gondola.
I'm going to take men. Hey, I'm going to take alternative names for men's testicles for 1,000. Okay.
So a gondola is a means of cable transport. And a type of aerial lift which is supported or propelled by cables from above.
Okay, while you do that, Jody sometimes goes in. He's about, I think he said 200. No, is it 200 miles or 50 miles from Montana, North Dakota? Gets his mail sometimes in Montana.
Oh, he said a couple hours.
Yeah, a couple hours. Okay. So maybe that's about 100. Let's see, 60, 100. Yeah. Okay. I think that's it. I know that. I know that's more than.
He paid attention. He was the interviewer and he paid attention.
Yeah,
I know that's more than 30 seconds. So,
bravo, man.
So,
we may have been giving you a bunch of crap.
Glad you're here.
Oh,
and I heard you did pirate radio too.
Pirate radio.
Yeah.
And one last thing, Jim is very jealous that we've got Jody on here tonight. So
hold on.
Yeah,
I got that somewhere.
Yeah. Clubhouse.
Jody, do you play broadcast radio during Halloween?
No, that's all ended now officially. And if anybody asks, I'm not going to say anything on a recorded show.
And now that you think about it, you kind of look like Max Headroom too.
Wow, you did
turn on the special effects.
Wow, that was what, 90s, or was that like
late 80s? Yeah,
MTV in it and shit. Man, I got my cigar band. I can't find the crack for my cigar band. Oh, here it is.
That's 2 words you would never hear coming out of his mouth. I couldn't find the crack. I went more than 3. Anyway, so Jody, back to you. Sorry, I just wrecked the show. Sorry.
There we go. Okay, now I got a good draw going here. Let's see. What's the next question for Jody? What radio do you currently have there in the shack for HF, Jody?
I was about to say that's a heck of a shack you got there. Like
Yeah,
almost
the shack is
semi-professional.
getting rebuilt here.
Jody, can you show him one of the pictures?
Yeah,
Can you show?
I take some pictures of it. So
Yeah. Hey guys, he showed me some pictures earlier today, and I nearly did a backflip. So to make me do backflips,
yeah, so there's a K4 hiding in there. That's this. I just put it together. I'm kind of feeling out where I want to put the radios as I reconstruct and rewire this new desk. So K4 is probably going to be front and center, and 9700 to the left.
I see an amplifier.
Yeah.
I Spy. Here we go.
I Spy. Yeah.
Above there.
Jody, is that a homemade desk or is that a prefab?
I got it from a kitchen cabinet maker, actually.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Because I really like that. I like the compartments. Mm-hmm. Jody, you got to show him the picture. You got to show everyone the picture of what I'll call the wall.
All right. Here.
Oh.
The bat. Got to have the bat. Adds 3 dB.
Look at that one.
That's for swatting Sasquatches.
I was going to say, is that a Louisville Slugger?
That does not say 88. That's BB for the name of the bat maker. But it's got to be 88 for ham radio.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
What kind of black flies you get up there?
Antenna patch panel?
Yeah, so I brought in all my cables here into basically on-off switches. Grounded when I'm not using them, but for the most part, I only ground them during the storms and leave them connected elsewhere.
Look at that bus grounding bar. I love it, man. Oh my God.
Massive.
I love it. That thing itself probably weighs about 8 pounds.
There's one there, and there's one sitting inside the desk. Where are we? Yeah, behind that KPA 500, there's another bus bar just for grounding without running too big of wires anywhere.
Right. Very well laid out. Very, very well laid out.
Little electronic workbench over here on the right.
Is that a spectrum analyzer? Oh,
no, little scope on the top. My first scope from college.
But that's where you go toe to toe with Ape and a few others. Then when you guys
use those little tiny ones, he actually has a legit one.
A legit one, yeah, a professional one.
Yeah,
this is a Digilent computer connected scope. So.
Oh wow.
Oh, Jim don't have one of those.
Hold on. The most important
wants to know what logging software do you use?
The most important question of the night.
See that notepad over there?
I'm Radio Deluxe. I'm HRD.
Okay.
And what's hiding over here? I got a 2-meter station with APRS gateway, iGate.
There you go.
And an FTM 400 that will be a PDN node.
A what?
What's PDN node?
What does that mean?
They're Wires X node. Personal use, not full repeater, just single.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Private network.
So that means you could be anywhere and talk on any frequency. Yeah.
While still being incognito, it sounds like.
Not necessarily on talk groups and
not necessarily. You may think I'm here, but I'm really over there. Kind of a thing.
Well, I'll let you get back to. Make sure we get that top right corner there.
Yeah, make that a little bigger again, Jody.
You go wherever you want to go right now, but that looks like a phone network or something.
The grounding bar is from a telecom rack. I commissioned the telecom rack and got 2 copper bus bars.
You write the book on Canadian grounding, Dick.
Grounding is important.
Do you have a YouTube channel on station grounding?
There's a trick. I don't know if I can show you in this picture or not. The 2 shelves underneath the radios have metal grounds underneath them. I can see it underneath the KX4 here. That's a metal sheet that extends all the way underneath all the radios. Before they assembled the cabinet, they assembled that metal.
Right.
So basically 2 sheets that provide electrostatic shielding, if nothing else.
Wow.
That's an interesting idea.
You're such a nerd, Jody.
No, you want to know where that goes back? See, once again, what I said when we were talking earlier, that goes back to radio broadcasts.
Oh, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Plasma. No plasma. No
plasma. That's not where the magic happens. Oh.
Any other trivia questions? That's
I think Sam hit it. Somewhere a tower site in Alabama is missing bus bars.
Yeah, exactly.
You're right, Sam. Sam is right.
Yeah,
Sam's just there to bust chops.
Jody and Jim is in cahoots with each other. Jim's getting all the parts from the towers in Canada.
Well, he can't hang on to them there in Alabama. Didn't know about it.
Only heard that one take on carry on. Except for
and Ron's got the $64,000 question. So what are you running for antennas now? Let's start with.
Oh, I'm glad Ron went there. That's where I was.
Thanks,
headed,
Ron.
But I thought you already covered it.
So Jody, let's break it down. You're strictly, Let's work our way up, and we'll start at high and we'll go low.
Where are my antennas? So there's a vertical. It was originally a 43-foot MFJ. I don't know if I have a picture of it handy. This is the M2 egg beaters that I use for VHF, UHF.
Okay.
There's there they are, sitting on top of the roof.
Holy cow.
Now using for satellite or using for FM repeater simplex?
Oh, locally. I'm not a big satellite guy, but they do work. I've got the preamps on them, so they RX much better after I added the amps. They are deaf as stones without the amplifiers, though.
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm just picturing Jody with like this huge EME setup, and somebody's like, "So you bounce signals off the moon?" No, I just talk local.
It's an egg beater. It's an egg beater. Yeah. No, a lot of guys do that. You know something, Jody? A lot of guys do that I know of, especially back in when I first got into the hobby. The egg beater is not a new. The egg beater design is not a new antenna. It's come back again, and I'm happy that it's come back again, and I'm happy that Robert and so many other people are playing satellite. I really, really am. But in all, that egg beater design is there. But guys who don't use it, who want to use it locally, have always traditionally run the preamps with it. Or they don't when they want to null out noise or don't want to hear a certain group of people talking. And again, it's part of the hobby of what's called the E word, experiment and have fun. So there you go.
Is that somebody's signature or is that part of the antenna?
Yeah, I also am a photographer on the side. This is live from my site.
So he has to watermark it.
Watermarked.
Yeah,
steal it.
Don't steal my picture, bro.
Yep.
I was like, that looks like a couple of J's, but is it a coil? You know,
It's a receiving coil.
It's a receiving coil, right?
So the MIDI loop I use for receiving. I'm living in the city, and the noise. I'm literally 50 feet from a transformer that feeds the neighborhood. So my vertical just picks up noise galore. So I do a split. I receive on the MIDI loop for the most part. I can't transmit 500 watts, but for the most part, it's receive only, and then transmit on the vertical for low takeoff angle.
I like it.
The MIDI works really good. It's rotator capable, so if I'm trying to get California or Florida, those are super easy. For some reason, I can reach Australia really easily. South Pacific.
Not to brag.
No, India.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I'm struggling to work the guys. I'm struggling to work the guys in Rotuma, and I've been chasing them, stopping when I'm like tonight. If you see me leave, if you see me leave right now, that means a ham alert pops up, and I'm gonna run downstairs.
Every time they popped up, they was on 21305 when the show was starting.
Mm-hmm.
Not a nothing, not a signal there. So.
They're in a tough part of the world, at least for me here in the Northeast.
Every time I've come out here, I haven't heard a signal. So,
but listen, they're making contacts. I've seen their pictures, and they're having fun, and that's the most important thing. So,
oh yeah,
there we go.
Yeah, look at that
6 meter loop framed by the MIDI loop. That's just photography in action right there.
There you go.
That's not the loop from the guy in Italy, is it?
It is, yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at it. I'm like, it looks really familiar.
Yeah, it works really well. It's a high price.
It should for his price, but the quality they say is absolutely. You can't beat it. You cannot beat it.
So they asked me if I'm a big fan of Prince. Remember when Prince turned himself into a symbol? That's literally what this antenna looks like. Is whatever his name turned into.
That's funny.
They have no idea. Fine. So I've got a little weather station there. I put a sign outside my lot on the fence with a QR code. Here's how you see the weather station, just so they'd stop asking questions about the radio.
So, Jody, everything is going into what do I see there? 3 junction boxes that are polyphased out and grounded. What are you doing there?
Yeah, there's a lot of MFJ. I don't have all the boxes pictured here, but a lot of MFJ grounding. Everything's coming in to a ground. Some of them have 2 grounds, depending on how the junction box is lined up. Control cables for the rotor. Every data cable's going through lightning arrest on the way in. And I am not the highest point in my neighborhood, so
doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, could pick up some induced voltage, but a direct strike is rather likely. The house next door is actually higher than my vertical antenna, so.
Right.
Is that a wire mesh on the ground?
Yep. Yeah. I went with that before the trend last year. I had very little distance between the
magic carpet.
So got the DX Engineering grounding plate in all directions except for near the fence. I went with the mesh and then wired a lot of grounding to that mesh to ground it.
So the copper, I see the copper comes out and is that running underneath the mesh?
It is, and weaved into it. And there's actually more copper I added. So I have a few clamps for dissimilar metal clamps that will prevent galvanic corrosion on those two dissimilar metals. So
Right.
they're hot bonded together.
This is great. I didn't even know Jody had radios. He's over there killing it, man.
I didn't know he was a real ham. I thought he was just pretending. But
You just thought he was.
He's over there showing us all up.
I know.
I thought he liked
Right.
radio, yeah.
Mhm.
You say you're probably saying, "What a sarcastic son of a bitch!" Every single week. That's all.
Yeah.
He's got
Who's
nothing else
this
better to
guy?
do. He got nothing else better to do. Come on.
Apparently, one with a very big radio station. It really knows his shit. So okay.
Damn.
I thought he just got a call sign to come shoot the shit and have radio channels. Yeah.
Well, the biggest part of
It's 'cause all the
my
cool kids
ham
were
radio
doing it.
event for the last few years has been YouTube.
So what is that thing? Is that your weather station?
Something you don't want to touch.
Lightning.
It's got a sticker.
So this is what a cattleman would use to ground lightning against his electric fence to keep the charger from blowing up. And I just put it on my vertical. So that spark gap there, you see it on the right there, the two bent moves.
Yeah.
You can adjust that. So at 500 watts, you're basically just avoiding arc over on high humidity days.
Right.
And anything
Start
higher
broadcasting,
than
yeah.
that, the red thing is a Russian bleed resistor. I think that's 1 meg ohm. So static builds up on vertical
Oh,
antenna.
but it's got great internet connection.
I bet it is too.
Isn't it amazing as Jody's talking, all these pieces from around the world and other places just happen to land on his property? Isn't it just amazing?
Who
Love it.
are
There's a
you really?
A disco?
My niece makes an appearance. I did an article for our national magazine a couple of years ago, and this was the Go Box kit.
Is that a
documented.
gator? Is that a gator box?
That's a gator. Yep.
Yep. I run them all the time. Yep.
Looks like a Kenwood in there.
Yeah, that's my TS2000, the inaugural radio, FTM 350 on the VHF UHF side.
What was that, Mike?
Yeah, Mike says, I bet that would be really cool if his signature wasn't blocking it.
It is, Mike. It is.
You know, the picture where you were showing the grid there made me think when I took a tour of one of the around here, the big power plants are TVA, right? Tennessee Valley Authority. It's where all the electricity comes from. So we was taking a tour of one of the plants, and we was walking around. Of course, already, you know, when Verns look, right? I wasn't too comfortable just walking around all these
right.
high-powered lines and transformers. And then the guy tells me, he says, "Hey, you're standing on, you know, every bit of the ground is gridded. It's grounded up under the gravel."
Did he tell you to walk heel to toe, Joe Brett?
Yeah,
never take big steps because you don't want that differential to go through your
exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Just hop around, Joe. That's all you got to do is hop.
If your hair starts feeling funny, don't spread your feet apart.
Oh, gosh.
400 in the truck.
There you go.
You got more than one 400?
Yeah.
Jeez, you probably shouldn't show that, man.
Juan and I just aren't nemesis
If
for
it comes
Jim.
up
We also
missing, you know it's
share
probably in
radio.
Mississippi.
Joe Brett's gonna pull you over and confiscate that thing
Right.
for evidence collection.
I grabbed me a 500. I'm okay, but I'm just saying, 400s was hot commodities around.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I had the ground grid in here somewhere. This is one of them.
All right, I got
Match panels for the MIDI loop. So I don't know. You guys want to keep looking at pictures? You got the system going on.
I don't even feel like a real ham anymore.
Well, you don't even own a radio. But
Shut up.
you were still able to get Hawaii.
Kiss my ass, Steve.
You walked right into that
Hey,
one.
hold on.
And you know what's sad?
I own a radio.
You don't own an HF. But you know what's sad, Shane?
I know. I own an HF radio.
I haven't even used my own radio yet.
Oh.
He gonna go pick up the Quan Shane that he hadn't modified yet.
I'm really
wait a
sad about MFJ.
Jeez.
Literally,
He better not.
the MFJ thing.
He better not slip and trip on drop that thing. Drop
Yeah,
that boat
because
anchor.
that some bitch was heavy.
That's gonna break it. That's gonna
More
break a toe on that
specifically,
too.
Steve, he doesn't have an HF transceiver.
Okay, yeah. There you go.
You didn't say it had to transmit.
Look at that. That's nice. Nice dressing.
There you go.
Nice
See,
dressing.
when I built my shack and then I redid my shack, and every time I think about my shack, that's how I want my cables to look, but it never happened.
You need to hire Jody.
Yeah, Jody's work looks expensive. Huh?
There's some mess. There's the back of that go box.
That looks more like what my my wiring. Gray man, really?
Great.
There's my copy of CQ propagation handbook, the way it arrived in the mail. This is what you get from the U.S. to Canada, right?
What happened?
I got a free copy. They had no problems, but yeah, mail service destroyed that thing.
Yeah. Yeah, other than the go box wiring, everything looks really clean.
Jody, Jody, what do you do? Hey, Jody, when you start a project,
oh, that looks awesome.
Jody, how does Jody's brain do it? I'm going to put it on paper, draw the blocks, draw the lines.
Do you draw it first?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, a lot of it is not. I like to physically rearrange things. That go box tray, for example, I had to try a few things. I didn't.
We're all on right. We're all on many versions of go boxes, but as far as the house and the grounding, because that's something you want to lay out once and move in procession to the end, and then really it's done. It's done. Maybe take out the label maker and label things or tag things, but in your head, are you doing that like? After our show is done and you calm down and it gets quiet at your house, again, do you pull out the paper and say, maybe in a couple of days I'll start this, I'll do this, and then so that's how it goes on paper first.
Yeah, drafting is first step to building. So
right, interesting.
Jody, I got a question. You ever done stand-up comedy?
Not intentionally, but it has happened.
Are you sure?
Who did you find? Who did you find?
Yeah, something he does.
Really run, are you?
He does sound southern enough.
He does resemble him, though, doesn't he? He does. Look at
Sorry,
that.
I messed up your layout. Random thoughts that hit my head. I'm sorry.
Random thoughts.
Well, that really brought the crickets out.
Well, who else has questions? Who else has questions for this guy or punches for him or whatever?
I'm just in awe of the wiring.
Yeah. Well, get over it. You got a show to finish.
Yeah. Like exploring the project, or should we go there?
Yeah, go ahead.
What project are you working on?
Drum roll, please. Go ahead, Jody.
This is your moment, Jody.
Oh, this is optional for the crowd here.
And I got a headache.
I just went cross-eyed.
So I'm kind of kicking around the idea of building this thing. And
what is it?
I'm talking with Mark from Boondock Echo. It's very similar what he's doing. When George Zafiropoulos came out with his explanation of the ham radio adventure frequency and using CTC SS tones to communicate instead of, DTMF or anything like that, basically just keying up your radio with the right tone would get you a response from a listening radio.
Mm-hmm.
After I saw that show, I got to thinking, well, I can build that. There's an Arduino. This is
what happens when Jody starts thinking.
Yeah.
So the idea of this thing is this board would be a test bed, a universal sled for development, and you could use it to basically interface an Arduino sketch to a radio, interface that to the internet, have advanced features for.
I thought that said sprinkler. I was like, you watering your yard with this thing?
That's what I'm like.
Speaker in.
No, I seriously thought it too. I'm like, he's going to develop a Node Red so the sprinklers at 5 a.m. hit all of the flowers around the flower beds.
That's a little complicated for Node Red. This layout, at least.
So I'll give you my vision for this, and I just don't know if I want to build it because Mark's project is so close to this. It might be easier for like as far as I know, he's going open source with the hardware to just work with what he's built already and manufactured and the whole issue of that. I'm looking at doing this as a kit for people that want to build, fun things. And let's see here if I got
I just want to see where you would put step 1.
This is kind of what
a goose in a hurricane.
The little board.
I see power poles. I see innocent power poles. I understand
I recognize that.
I understand it. I understand
and I
that
see a speaker.
Yeah, the speaker would be off board. I'm not showing the keypad or the display that would go on top here. In and out power poles, so daisy chain through. An MP3 player on a card, so you could fill up files and call them from your program and play them over the radio. So you could build up sequences of phrases, sequences of, words, call signs, anything like that.
So if we wanted to do a lot of Hank and Boomhauser, we could put all that stuff right on there. And
Exactly.
And play it over the radio. Yeah.
Play it over the radio.
Now, I've gotten a few codes in the sketch just playing around with it.
Just playing around.
So there we go. The first 10 or first 12 tones in that MP3 would just be DTMF tones. Instead of generating DTMF with the software, I'd just be playing a file. So easy way to generate DTMF and play it over the radio. Number 13 is Adventure Sync. If it hears the CTCSS tone, it will respond saying, hey, I'm an Adventure Sync radio. Your nearest repeater is blah, blah, blah megahertz. You can go there if you want to communicate.
So that would be cool if somebody chunks a repeater. Think about it.
Exactly. Yep. So, yeah, George has defined quite a few of the tones. So here's his definition so far. 77 hertz. If you have a 77 CTCSS, it's going to ping this board and basically it will respond to you. And that's all he's kind of defined, but that's what this board would do. But there are other functions. 67 hertz might open squelch so that you do a patch through to another radio and normally hear that frequency, but if an emergency tone comes through, you patch through. So he's got a lot of vision here. I'm really focusing on this 77 hertz. What can I listen to and then play some responses back? And this is just one sketch that this board could do. So,
I'm thinking from an end user perspective, is there any validity because if you're involved with the search and rescue? I'm lost, I'm injured.
Izzo, your audio went to shit.
Hello, is this better now?
No,
it still sounds like shit.
All right, I'll be quiet.
Move the mic.
Just move the mic. It's a cable thing.
It just got a little buzzy for some reason.
Got a little ground loop there.
I didn't even move. I didn't do. All I did was take a puff of my cigar. That's all we did.
You got RF coming back, man.
You need to have Jody come over and ground your station for you.
Tell Matthew to get off the radio.
Yeah.
I'll hold my question.
You could type your question. We can read it.
Okay. No, it's going to take too long.
2 hours later.
Just go.
We can still hear you.
We can still hear you. Just
I was just thinking from a search and rescue point of view. If somebody is lost or injured, and they have their radio, and if it's known as far as part of the group, get on this frequency and either DTMF, and that would force something on the repeater side.
It could. So George's vision was not to use DTMF in stage 1. You basically transmit and your tone would trigger no matter where you are in the country. There'd be enough of these, receiver stations. He's building the same board. So he's got a competitor to this that's looks to be a totally different feature set. So I don't feel I'm competing with him so much as Mark's product for radio interfacing. So you wouldn't need to know anything. But perhaps once you key up one of these ham nodes, you'd be able to hear a message and say, okay, I heard you. Here's your repeater frequency. Jump to that set your tone as such, your offset, and you'll be able to communicate on a repeater in this local area, or press 1 for a different message, and then it could listen and, do further functions depending on what key you pressed. So I'm not going to get into too much of the code. I would basically roll this board out as a development test bed. I give you one working program for the Adventure Sync protocol. And from there, I would just hope to develop code modules that you could plug and play and build your own toy, doing whatever you can envision as a ham, which is, anything, and making sure that the board could interface with any radio, have internet connectivity, have serial connectivity to a computer, cryptographic key storage for your secure keys for your user IDs, all that kind of stuff. I'll take care of that in the back end and just present the module to you. It's my vision. I just don't know if there's enough interest to really go through this, because it is a lot of work at this point. Even though I've sketched it out, I still have to build it and probably build it a few times before it actually works properly.
Plasma said send him a kid, he'll build it.
That's right.
There you go. Ted says the proper automated Canadian response to all of those tones to be yahoo's there, buddy.
You'll be screwed.
You ain't talking to no one here.
This is the only radio that will ever hear you.
Welcome to the RF wormhole. But James says, does it play Doom? That's the only thing.
Yeah. So the little Arduino probably could handle it. These things are just amazingly powerful nowadays.
Yeah, those are cool. Those are cool boards.
And that's really what opened up the door, was being able to do a fast Fourier transform within an Arduino. It's now fast enough to do that. Decoding CTC SS tones without a chip and doing it in software is actually a bit of a technical challenge. So it's now possible with these newer class of chips.
But will it decode CW?
It could. Yeah. CW would actually be easier.
Interesting.
Everybody's,
because none of them work. None of those CW decoders work.
Yeah,
like
this would be as good as any of them.
There's your market right there, buddy. It starts off as a CW decoder, and then it takes over your house.
Hey, nobody even commented on my key that I don't use.
I said, is that a key in the background?
Oh, did you say that?
I did, yeah, because you have a manual straight key. Oh, never mind, and you have paddles.
It's a both key.
It's
both key.
So if you get bored working one, you switch to the other?
I just bought it because it was pretty, and I'm not
it looked cool.
Morse code yet.
I was going to say, is that the Vibraplex?
It is, yeah.
Plasma says the Oregon Trail, not Doom.
Oh,
you can play the Oregon Trail over a radio.
So you're just going to die of dysentery.
At the end, it says you died of dysentery. If you would like to find out where we are, this is the repeater we're on. That would take fox hunting to a whole new level.
Wouldn't it?
The things that you can do.
Goodness.
I did wire up a coat hanger antenna. I think I told this story last week. Somebody was asking, what's the strangest antenna you've done? Well, clothes hanger, coat hanger antenna unwound into a BNC connector block, trying to use it at the DF of Fox. I don't recommend it. It did not work.
The weirdest antenna that I've seen, Mike over at Ham Radio Tube did 2 pieces of solder and was able to hit a repeater with 2 pieces of solder on a BNC block.
Nice.
So that takes wheeled antenna to a whole new level.
That'll work.
Mike's always a little extra.
Of course he is. That's why we like him.
We love him.
Sorry, my dog is doing something.
Well, Joe Brett, did you get a box of Smarties or not? I can't remember if I ran out by the time I met you or not.
No.
Okay, then don't ask about it. Nothing happened.
I was about to say, there must be a story here.
I might have ran into you a little too late in the day there. I was giving out Smarties to the Canadian treat to all the people I ran into.
Nice. Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, because I did show up when we got there. Yeah, it was like an hour till the show quit when I got there. So I was trying to meet folks and run around and find things, and
Were you just there for the one day?
Yes, I had one full day there, which was not enough. So yeah, we rolled in straight from Mississippi to the Hamfest and got there at like 4:00 in the afternoon.
Mike says into MAK says he got some Smarties. So did Ham Radio too. He got Smarties as well.
Yeah, I think I
So
brought
you had to
out
be Mike to get them.
boxes.
Well, that's pretty cool. Canadian Fruit Loops.
who would have thunk someone in the chat is actually an actual ham? Who would have thought it? See, it is a ham radio show. We just don't know it.
Yeah.
This is all an elaborate ruse. It took me, I was resisting Izzo and inviting me on as I had to set this all up. This took a lot of work.
Props to you. I mean, I'm glad you're using somebody else's shack back there. I mean, I see the green screen nearly does it for you.
Yeah, whoever really took those pictures is gonna be pissed when they see he put his signature on
they
it.
didn't put their watermark on it. See what happens? Somebody else can use your shack. One moment, I have to go take care of my dog.
I claim to be a photographer. There's no evidence of that yet.
Jody, is there any special beverages you like to drink?
Don't drink a whole lot, but it's beer. When I drink, it's going to be just plain beer, not a hard liquor. Fan.
Any preference on beer or just beer?
Well, it depends if
you gotta like a
waiter can hear what I say. For some reason, I tend to get a lot of misorders, but the Canadian beers, I like that. US, I take what I get. Stella Artois, it's probably the one I order the most because it's reliable in the US.
Yep.
What kind?
Stella Artois.
The hell is that?
You've never had a Stella?
A Stella?
Yeah.
It probably costs too much for me.
It's really not that expensive.
Yeah, it sounds like something expensive.
It sounds it, but it's not.
Yeah, Brian, the Kokanese, yeah.
When I tell you stores around here carry like 4 brands,
and 3 of them are Miller.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anything else we want to ask you?
I mean, you could hit him with a lightning round if your mic gets any better.
Yeah, your audio disappeared there, Izzo.
If you lean up to the mic, like when you got pissed off earlier, well, you got to unmute yourself now.
Okay.
A little bit.
Yeah. It's just better.
Do you have a 3.5 millimeter plug for that mic going in your computer?
It's USB. And the last 5 shows, I've had 0 problems.
Yeah.
0 problems, including last night. I was with the boys for almost 3 hours up in New Hampshire there.
That's what it was. You were cheating on us. You went to their show, so
yeah, and your computer's mad.
A lot of us are.
Sorry, I'd had to turn off my green screen so y'all could see my shack.
There we go.
I wanted to fit in.
And why did you have to use my radio to contact Hawaii?
Because I wanted the distance from South Carolina. Texas.
He had thunderstorms in Texas. He didn't have his coax hooked up.
It was hail. Terrible, terrible hail. Lightning. Yeah.
Steve,
I didn't have a lightning arrestor, so I had to use your station.
What was that, Jody?
Did anybody manage to contact you in Hawaii?
I ended up with just over 100 contacts between 2 parks.
Me and Joe Brett did.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
I got Shane, I got Joe Brett, I got Kyle, Julie from POTA Power, and Vaughn still does not have Hawaii. So I'm sure I'll hear about that tomorrow.
I
had to fight to get her. She was down in the noise. But
I started listening to you calling CQ on my 80 meter loop, and I could hear you a little bit, but it was real weak. And then for some reason, I had the vertical hooked to the 705, and I turned it on. I was like, damn, I can hear him better on that one. So I swapped coax around and got that 100 watts into the vertical and sit there and listen because you were low, but then the band, like it usually does, you know, a little fading up and down. It just so happened, boy, you got about as strong as you'd been since I've been listening. Was able to get you.
I was gonna say you came through like gangbusters.
Oh yeah.
And then Friday when I was
that
out
gap
the park,
tightened, baby.
Yeah, I was calling forever on 20. I was like, okay, 20 is just not gonna have it for me. And out of nowhere, I get Dan out of Georgia, WD4DAN, and it sounded like he was sitting right next to me.
That's Dan.
I'm like, okay, he's pushing a kilowatt and a half. I'm sure he was pushing power because nobody else was on 20.
Well,
and usually everyone's on 20.
Yeah,
not in
I
Hawaii.
couldn't hear you when I was here and you was on another band. I didn't have no luck.
Yep.
I could hear people calling you, and I can't run power on 10 because I've never tuned the input. You know, it's one of those things.
No, he came through strong.
Eric there?
No, he was not in the state at the time. But it looks like I've got at least one more trip going out there, if not 2 or 3, from the sound of it after I got back to work this week. So there will be more chances for Hawaii, but me.
So you didn't plug in all the Ethernet cables in one trip, eh? Okay.
No, multiple ships.
Oh, darn. I have to go back and plug that cable in. I forgot.
I got to go back and play again. What? Okay. But this is the map from Friday.
Nice.
And yes, that's Rotuma. I did get them while I was in the park.
Dang, you had to go all the way to Hawaii to get them.
I did. And your tax dollars paid for it, my friend.
Is that a 2-meter contact?
No, that was 21 megahertz on FT4.
You know, it makes me wonder. I said that kidding, but if y'all had Yagis pointed at each other across the open sea, and you got on one of those tall hills.
Mm-hmm.
Also known as a mountain.
I had to go all the way to Hawaii to get my neighbor.
Get on into the SIP in Alabama there.
So this, like I said, this is Fridays. You were on Thursday's log. I didn't upload Thursday's log to here.
God.
Yeah, I know.
You
hang on.
As bad as Frank.
It's already uploaded to POTA. Chill out. Hang on. Let me grab Thursday's log. Talk amongst yourselves.
I did log you. It just took me a little bit. I started not to even log you, but I like keeping up with my personal log.
I'm horrible about logging from the house.
And I had to turn the computer on to make the mic work anyway. So
there you go. Oh, you know what? I actually logged that one as the club.
Which one?
The one with you.
You son of a...
I'm in there.
Ham Radio Clubhouse?
Yep.
So it's 2 contacts.
Yep, it's 2 contacts.
Well, look there. I got 2 contacts.
So that one was 22 contacts.
How you gonna do that and not call Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo Charlie from Hawaii?
The same way Steve does.
He's doing it.
KM9G. Yeah.
You heard it here first, folks. Shocking revelation.
Never
from
accept any challenge from KM9G.
You'll lose.
He's going to be activating that missile silo antenna here really shortly, I hope. Right next door to it.
Yeah. So most of you know, but in case there's somebody that doesn't know, Steve, T.O., temporarily offline, living for a living, whichever channel you watch. You should be watching both. They're great. Anyway, challenged, Coffee and Ham Radios to Ham Radio Clubhouse to get a kilo first on Montesano there at Huntsville. What he didn't really say was that he was going to be there a week before everybody got there.
The devil's in the details.
That's it.
So he didn't get a kilo in 3 days, or on the weekend. It took him the rest of the week. That's what I'm hearing.
I don't know.
I think he still got it in the weekend, but
yeah,
he finished it during the weekend.
Yeah, SKT done. He jumped shipped.
Was he bunking with Jim again? You got to give him a little slack if he was with Jim. So
now, see, they don't do that no more. And Jim purposely, on purpose, gets the handicap cabin because he knows now that it only has one bed. He acted like he was so upset when him and Chuck had that cabin. And he was like, oh, man, I don't know what to tell you. I was there when he called him on the phone. He was, I'm sorry. You ain't got but one bed. You got to find somewhere else. I'm like, hey. And that's the one he gets.
I didn't come prepared to slam Jim. I don't have my sensor beat handy here.
We got one for you. It's okay.
I'll take care of it for you.
Yeah. Where is that?
Catch me outside. How about that?
Oh, God.
Catch me outside.
You've been playing with the soundboards all week, haven't you?
Yeah.
I have not. So I've decided what I'm going to do. I'm going to fill my soundboard up with clips from the Clubhouse.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
ISO 1, ISO 2, ISO 3.
There'll be a few of those. And Paul joined us last week, and I'm going to get his sound clip of, having to caress it off there a little bit. Exactly how he worded that, talking about getting that sticker off of Shane's box he sent that 7300 in and stuck it to the bottom of the radio in case it ever turns upside down off the table. You'll see this side of the radio.
That's wrong. That's just wrong.
It's not wrong.
That's that's actually pretty dark. Yeah. It's where that way you know where it came from. So we got to make a motion, gentlemen.
Yep. All right. What you got?
Before you do that, I want to address this. KM4ACK and Ham Radio Tube would never backstab one another. So I see KM4ACK sends his newsletter out today, and I see my own worst enemy, but I didn't read the own there. As soon as I said it, I thought of K8MRD.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, a newsletter about Mike. And then I seen it was his own enemy, his self. So y'all was going to do some business?
Yeah, Shane.
Oh, my God. Top Gun, baby.
Undertaker. What do you mean Top Gun?
Try again.
All right. I'd like to make a motion that we adopt Jody, BE5SAR,
I watch cooler shows
into the Ham Radio Clubhouse. Do I get a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Say aye.
Any opposed?
I'm kind of on the fence.
Welcome. Wait till you get the bill for the dues.
The dues are horrible.
Well, thank you, gentlemen.
Hey. All right, that was my vote. Sorry, I was distracted.
Or do you want to try the lightning round? Or okay, all right. Did you unplug your microphone and blow the end of it and put it back in?
All right, turn it on. Let's try.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Look at
that.
Still slight buzz, but your audio is over the noise, sir.
All right,
go with it.
Jody, are you ready?
Watch your profanity.
Let her fly.
Question number 1: chicken, fish, or steak?
Steak.
And how do you like
it? I had an hour ago.
How do you like your steak?
It's medium rare tonight.
I wish I could afford steak again.
What kind of
good base for the
What kind of fixings you put around that steak?
Tonight, just a baked potato and some sour cream. That's all I had with it.
Nice.
Okay.
I'm a
Favorite ice
big
cream?
fan of mushrooms, though. Steak
Okay.
and grilled mushrooms. Oh, I love it.
Yes, nice. Excellent. Favorite ice cream?
Tiger.
What? What's
Yeah.
Tiger? What's that, guys?
So licorice and orange, I guess, is the flavor.
Really? Is
Yeah.
it a sherbet or?
It could be classed as that. But they sell it as an ice cream up here. Definitely the licorice is like black licorice ice cream.
Interesting. I've never heard that. Wow. Okay. Favorite snack?
Ketchup, potato chips.
Oh man, really? Yeah,
I'm not just saying that. Yeah, I like them.
Can we talk about grounding again? All right. And for the big one, winner takes all. What's your favorite band?
Well, U2 during their non-political era.
Okay, I agree. That's cool. Excellent.
Fair.
I had a chance to sit in their side wings in a concert in St. Pete's in Tampa.
Yeah.
That was awesome. And I enjoyed their music up until they strayed away from music.
Up until the point they forced it on everybody's Apple device.
Yeah, right around that time, actually.
From a ham radio perspective, what bands do you like?
Well, FT8 on 30 meters. I like 60 meters. That's a very quiet and polite band, I will say. I haven't got much success here with 10. I just live in a hole. I can't get out on 10. But yeah, 20, 40, casual chats. I've got a neighbor, a contester about 400 feet away from me. He blows me out on those bands quite regularly, so I'm usually running to a quieter, work band, if nothing else.
Is 60 and I love 60 meters. We have them as like 5-channel, like 5 spacing. You have the same in Canada, or is it?
Yeah, we've got the option now in the third channel. We can do various things inside that third channel. It's a free for all for the most part.
Really? So
Yeah, 5 channelized segments, but the middle one is kind of open for other modes. So.
Kind of like the Wi-Fi band.
There you go.
Any slow scan TV? You do any slow
I
scan?
receive. I have never transmitted. I like receiving. I tried with the ISS here, just on an HT. I got a little partial bit of a picture here during the last extravaganza here a couple of weeks ago, but didn't decode a whole thing. Which not bad.
The only one I ever got was on a Baofeng and my cell phone.
Are you serious?
Nice.
Yeah. Yep, the only one I ever decoded. A Baofeng.
You should try harder.
You got to have.
But congratulations. I mean,
I have
Oh,
pictures of
Baofeng.
it somewhere.
No Triumph. Sorry. Yeah, I like Triumph back many years ago.
Yeah, you're right. Triumph. You're right, man. Back in the 80s.
I think I
Jody.
actually saw them live.
you ever done any JT65?
No 65, just 4 and 8. I'm an FT 4 and 8 guy.
JT, not FT.
Not VAR-AC. I've been playing around with that. I like the whole concept of RAC over Vera, both HF and FM. And HF, I think that's got a lot of promise as the next big thing. So,
What's your opinion with Meshtastic?
I've got a couple nodes. I like the idea of experimenting with it. I'm kind of in the Meshtastic black hole of Canada right here, so not a lot of friends unless I go to the States.
I have that problem around here.
Where do you see that a Cape once a network is created with, let's say, a neighborhood or further, with some directional antennas, maybe? Where do you see? Do you see active? You wanted to give us a prediction?
Yeah, it's in my view. So I'm a data comms kind of guy professionally. So I think Meshtastic is a way to point users to how to set up a proper high bandwidth network if they're going to do that kind of thing. Setting up, you've got all this hardware entering the market, very low price now with the Arden systems.
Right.
I think that is the way to do most of your traffic. But Meshtastic is like, when you have nothing else, how do you get set up? You need to have that initial round of communication and coordinate where am I going to put my Arden nodes. There's a Meshtastic use case, right?
But do you see it for appliance operators who just want to have fun, or is that a low percentage thing?
Well, in my view, it's, if you enjoy texting on your phone, if you're of that age group, if you enjoy texting, you're going to like Meshtastic. Not my thing, but again,
interesting. Okay,
this is a hobby of 1,000 hobbies, and some of them just don't.
Oh, that's the truth.
Right.
Yeah, Meshtastic has a lot of opportunity to do stuff. It's the whole concept of that low power, long range, and open, no preconceived notions required for communications. That's a big benefit. But after that, what do you do with it? Casual chatting and texting might be the extent of it, and that's fun for some people.
Right. And maybe that's just as far as what some people want to do. That's as far as.
No.
And judging from Jody's shack, texting is not his.
Yeah.
I have seen where people's ingested some information into the Meshtastic, like maybe some spots or some repeater listings or different things. So
I forget the live stream I was watching with Jason, who was on it, but the Meshtastic developers. There was a use case. I happened to come across this YouTube video of farmers in Nebraska rushing with their implements behind their tractors to put out a fire in a crop, here in the fall, racing in the wind. The visibility was nil. They did not know where their neighbors were. And I'm thinking, Meshtastic with a small Android running ATAC or some other mapping software, they could all just hop on the same channel, instantly have awareness of where their neighbors are, where the obstacles are in the field. They couldn't even see the fence lines, etc. And Meshtastic just jumped out as an easy ad hoc network, no costs, no cell bills. Just have one sitting in your tractor on standby, and then your smartphone becomes the mapping tool. And in a fire, I mentioned that to them. I don't know if they're going to take that as a use case with their.
That's really cool.
I like that idea. A lot
cheaper than the purpose-built GPS stuff for those tractors and stuff.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a whole agricultural thing. You've got your grain carts, and you got your combines, and you got your people shuttling maintenance vehicles, and they all have no instant recognition.
Grain cart. I didn't know you said grain cart. Sorry. What are you talking about, dude? Man,
GRAIN. Now my audio's back, isn't it? I want to make sure you can hear me.
Yep.
Back away from the mic.
It's like, geez.
You put it in a different hole this time?
Yes. Yeah. Put that for us. You should put that sound bite on your soundboard. You should label that. Label that.
Something. Randomly listening to the podcast, I've realized the nights that I have me a little drink, I end up on the freaking intro.
Yes.
I wonder why.
Yes, you do.
Izzo's been on there a few times.
Because when I don't have a little drink, I don't talk.
You'd think after 192 shows that wouldn't be an issue.
Shane, this is 193, by the way.
Well, okay, I'll go change it.
And the date, and Shane, you also got to change the date. I think it says November 25th. So just when you're in the modification,
that's impossible because I don't put the date.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Who knows? But...
Hey, but let's talk about something positive, Shane. Look at this nice quarters. Look at this nice quarter zip.
And it has your name on it.
I put my name on it, so in case I forget my name or if I can't remember my name, I could just point my finger to it.
There you go.
How did it turn out? Is it good? Good quality?
It is so. I told the boys earlier. It's not too heavy and it's not too light. So for a guy like me who likes to layer, this is a really, really nice. You can wear a thermal under, or you can just wear a t-shirt under it. So you're not like right now. It's about 52 degrees, I think, in here, 55 degrees in here, and it's just how I like it in here. Not too hot, not too cold, but yet my body's nice and warm. I'm hot right now. No, I'm warm.
So hot.
But so hot. Cool. That's what's cool in the gang. Yes, James. They used to put my address. They used to put my address in on the back of my underwear.
At least put your
on the and I don't know why. I don't know why.
Your address?
My mother used to.
So where they can mail them back to you?
I don't know. No, seriously. I
tell you what.
Okay, all right.
This boy done lost his under.
No. Okay, all right.
Underoos are already at the park again.
So for a lot of people, this is what we used to do in Discord before we came to.
We didn't do anything with our underwear.
No. The story I'm about. No, the story I'm about. No,
you're crossing wires. Don't
cross the streams.
No. I'm just saying. I don't know why. Listen, I was born in 1964. Okay, so that's so we're talking that era of late 60s, late 60s, very early 70s. My mother would take a magic marker and put the address. And I don't know why, if there was a phobia that when you went to the locker room, I learned how to swim at the YMCA. And then when we finally got a pool, but my mother did that for a long time until I was probably about 5 or 6 years old. Everything got labeled like that on the inside. I don't know why. Maybe it was a phobia that I was going to get taken by, Martians.
So if they found your underwear, they knew where to send them.
Or send me back.
Or you just wandered off a lot.
No. You could always find. I told you, you could always find me on that lawnmower. I was always on my lawnmower. I lived on that
driving around town.
No, just always cutting the grass. No, cutting the grass.
You had a lawnmower, and poor Molson was on the tricycle.
Yep, I had the lawnmower. I had it with headphones into a CB, and then I went to other radios. Yeah, man, I lived on my lawnmower. I would offer to cut other people's grasses in the neighborhood just to sit on the lawnmower and just drive around.
And Joe, to make you happy, there you go.
Make him happy, Steve. There you go.
I can't see that from here.
Make it bigger, Steve.
And that's not my call sign.
That's about to say that ain't his call sign. That's Florida.
No,
he's to the left, up and to the left.
That one.
No, you don't even know where I'm at.
Right one. I was in.
After all these years, he doesn't know where you are.
No, I knew. I was just screwing with him.
You got to change mine to South Carolina.
I know.
Very good, Steve.
What did you ping up north there? I saw you got one in like northern Ontario or something.
Yeah, that's our buddy James Linden.
Nice.
Got me up there.
Nice,
that's why it took me a little bit to get you in my local log, because I noticed that it logged you in South Carolina grid and stuff. And I'm like, no, we ain't having that. So then I had to find freaking grid square you was at and all that good stuff. And then I had to figure out how to switch. Why Hawaii wasn't on my freaking list of states, right? It's on another list.
Yep.
It's a different DX. So I finally figured it out.
Thinking the same thing. I'm glad you wrote that. I'm so restricted and under control here, being on the stream. I can't.
Yeah, a little different. I need a fourth monitor just for chat, so I can make this screen full screen.
Jody, you mentioned how you had Thanksgiving last week, right? That's the traditional Canadian Thanksgiving?
Second weekend in October is our Thanksgiving, before the weather gets cold. That's kind of the motif. So
what's the traditional meal? Like, give me a traditional meal.
It's the same. We've got the bird. If the bird was bad, we kill it and eat it. So there's a growing trend towards ham, I will say. But turkey is still a staple.
Mashed potatoes, vegetables, rolls. Got it.
I usually catch, I'm not sure if I'll be in the U.S. for this Thanksgiving. This week, I don't think it's going to work out. I compare the meals, and I find that, Minnesota and Canada, the meals are identical between our Thanksgivings. I head down to Florida. Sometimes New Mexico is just a totally different treat. I get the Mexican experience for Mexican Thanksgiving in New Mexico.
There you go.
So, I like to get the variety.
Green chilies while you're there in New Mexico.
Where did I go? I was in El Paso and Carlsbad, New Mexico.
Yeah.
I had 7 different kinds of chicken fried steak. None of them were the same, but I ordered the same. Right? There's such a variety. And I'm not going to send any of them back. They're all good.
Of course. Well, next time you need to go to Albuquerque for Hatch Green chilies.
I've heard about that. Yeah, I fly through Albuquerque sometimes.
So. I have some frozen in my freezer right now that I picked up when I was in Albuquerque. They're delish.
Hey Shane, before we say goodbye to everyone, I think we should say thank you for what you and your company did today.
Yeah.
Today was I didn't know if y'all wanted to talk about that or.
Well, I think listen, if we can, I think we should at least say thank you at the very, very least.
Yeah.
Stuff like that is important, and that's good stuff. I like that. So
yeah, we had a young lady. I don't know what kind of details I can go into. We had a young lady who has very, very serious cancer, and her make-a-wish was to do a hot air balloon. So we put as much propane as we could put in 3 trucks and took the balloon out, and her and her entire family, and we just all sit and played for 3 hours.
That's fantastic.
So,
Thank you, man. Thank you. Awesome. Yeah. Thank you.
Well done.
Well done. Exactly.
It's good stuff.
You will go to heaven. You will go. Well, maybe purgatory.
Fingers crossed.
But nah,
we got a lot to make up for.
Yes, we've seen Mexico.
You will go to heaven.
That ain't the half of it. This is before YouTube.
Oh, good Lord.
Izzo, you want to start us off tonight?
I just listen. When you're sitting around Thursday, regardless, it doesn't make a difference where you're sitting on Thursday. Okay, this is for all the Americans out there. It doesn't make a difference where you're sitting or who you're with. Take some time, whether you say a prayer at the table, in between the football games, and just look around and just maybe appreciate everything you have. Because there could be somebody out there next door, a mile away, 10,000 miles, who don't even have what you have. And maybe think,
Mike.
You know,
call me. I'll put you on FaceTime while we're at the table and be like you're there. But
yeah.
Got you, though.
But just think about what you have and, just be grateful. I know I am going to be. This has been an incredible, incredible year for me. A very special lady has come into my life. I know I've alluded to it many times. Her name is Jennifer, and she shares some very excellent qualities as another woman did in my life. And it's been very reassuring to me to know that there are still good women out there, as well as a woman who could put up with me. Okay,
so, and that's saying a lot.
That's saying a lot. That's saying a whole lot. But I know my family and I, my daughter's home from school this week. My son did some high honors. He's doing incredible. This wonderful woman, her daughter, is now also in my life, and I consider her part of my life as another daughter. I treat her with that same respect.
Good deal.
But like I said, I am going to be on Thursday. I will be working, but when I get home, we'll have a bird. We'll have all the fixings, all the traditional stuff, and I'll have a good cigar. But I know I will be grateful for what I have, not only in my personal life, but just in my ham radio life, and the opportunity to come on this show, the Northeast show. I come on Jason's show every once in a while, Frank's show. I'm very, very blessed, very, very blessed to be able to have a cigar and just talk. So that's all I'm going to say. I'm just going to leave it at that. Just be grateful, everybody, for what you have, and live every day positive if you can.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Was I too sentimental?
No.
Right amount.
So that's me.
Joe?
I'm Joe.
Joe Brand.
I drink Joe in the morning.
And whiskey in the evening.
Only on Tuesdays.
Only on Tuesday nights?
Mm-hmm. So, anyway, that's what I got. I don't make plans, so get what you get. Thanks.
Watch your profanity.
Oh, goodness.
Steve.
Yep. So, the POTA Power folks are here in town. So I'm going to go out
My God,
tomorrow.
are you still talking?
Yes, I am. Going to go out with them tomorrow and Friday, for sure. And then Monday we have an Eris contact that I will live stream on my channel. One of the local
Wow,
schools
look
got
at
picked.
you.
Yep.
Look at this guy going live on the YouTube. Look, excellent.
We'll go live from that.
You going to promote that?
I'm going to try to get the stream set up here.
I mean, are you going to send out like Twitter? You going to set up a... you need help with the thumbnail or...
You going to design a thumbnail for me, Joe?
No,
That's
I
so
ain't
nice
designing shit for you, man.
Damn it.
I will retweet it for you. I can retweet it for you.
Yeah, I will put it out on Twitter.
Good.
I just know, you'll be tonight. You'll be like, we're going to stream International Space Station. Yeah, no. And then you'll hear nothing else about it until next Tuesday. It's like, oh, we had a great time streaming that.
No.
Got to promote it.
I will promote it. It's actually put on by the South Carolina Department of Education and Workforce. They had 4 schools that were competing to get the contact.
What time is it going to be?
I believe it's 11 a.m. East Coast.
Oh, shoot. I was finna say if it's going to be... When does Mike put out his Mailbag Monday? That'd be a great...
Like 3?
Send him an email. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, 3. So, never mind. Oh, well. Should have promoted it early.
But so we got that Monday. Being the club president, I need to be out there with the trailer. I'm taking the day off. And then I'll be here next Tuesday. And we'll see when my next trip to Hawaii is.
A few moments later.
Thanksgiving love.
Exactly.
Jody, thanks for joining us tonight. What you got coming up?
I'm going to go with a blank. Project? You know what? I actually posted a video from AI on my channel just so I had one video. So people were subscribing to me and I had nothing there. And I'm like, why are you subscribing to me?
But
so
why?
Why?
You got to give them something every once in a while, even if it's a short.
What, because Jody's really good at the AI pictures. What software do you use for that? Or what AI are you using for that?
Whatever Microsoft link to, I've got a
Dally
account with them.
Dally
3. Dally 3 probably.
Gotcha. Whatever it is. Yeah.
For the video, I really have no idea. I just tried one that was free, and if you look at the video, you'll see their watermark on it, so you'll know who it is. I don't endorse them,
but they are use their free shit.
Yeah. But they are funny. But they are funny as hell, man. I got a whole folder up in the cloud of your stuff every once in a while. So there you go. So you made it with me if you get a folder in the cloud.
There you go.
Joe Brett's got a whole hard drive on most of us. So
that's what I'm afraid of.
Evidence.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to see a meme of me tonight. Somebody's got to be cranking one out.
If it'll be in Discord,
yeah,
just wait. You've summoned them,
yeah.
So it's coming.
And shackles, maybe in shackles and chains.
Yeah, there you go. Well, thanks for coming, Jody. Sorry I was late.
No worries.
Crazy stuff tonight, but thanks for everybody for joining us. We had a blast. Make sure you check out the podcast. We try to put a couple of gems in there. I saw N5SKT put in there that we weren't on his favorite podcast platform. So if we're not, let us know, and I'll see what I can do about it. But otherwise, you can find us pretty much anywhere. Hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving. If you celebrate it, whatever you celebrate, hope you enjoy it with your friends and family and have fun, or your pet. Your pet's your family. Yep. So thank you guys. We'll see y'all next Tuesday. Have a good one. 73.
All right, 73 all.
Oh, I gotta hit that.
Oh my God.